Hello everyone. So today we are going to create a post-process effect similar to what you see here in this Expedition 33 game. Before the game enters into the combat mode, there is this post-process effect applied to mask the moving of characters into the combat positions. So yeah, we are not going to implement the exact same thing, but something that works for us. And here is the preview of what we are going to implement by the end of this episode. Here, a simple effect, but it works. So if I go back into the free roaming mode and switch to any other character and come back, so in similar way it's working. So yeah, let's see how to implement this post-process effect and how to integrate that into the gameplay camera system-based camera rig that we are using for the game in this episode. And as always, you can download the full project of this project, not just this project. Once you become a member, you can access project files of all thousands of projects I have done. To the date, there are over 2000 videos. For each video, project files are available, and here is the full playlist of this series. You can follow these episodes and implement everything you see by yourself too. Alright, let's get started with today's episode then. Right, so this is where we stopped yesterday. So here we can go into the match, and now we get this simple camera transition, and we first pull back the camera and then we go to this angle. So today we want to work on how to do some post-process effect to mask the characters moving into the fighting locations. Right, so for that, here let's add a new variable, materials, and post process. Now here I'll create a material mpp, what should I call it, transition. Okay, and I'll change the domain to post process. Now you see nothing is there. Right, now I'll get scene texture. Here I'll choose post process input and use it like this. So it's the same thing, and what I need is some effect that starts something like warping or dissolving from the center and expand it to the edge of the screen to show the transition from the free roaming into the combat mode. So for that, how do I do that? Let's get screen position. Yeah, so I need wait, let's get a texture sample, some noise texture. Anything might work. Let's try this one. And if I put this into UVs, oh, it's not. We can't really do that. We can do this. We can blur this using a method like this. See? Now we have this effect, and it's applied to everywhere. Now what I need is let's do a rotating of this as well. Let's add a rotator. No, it's not real-time updating. Ah, now it is. See, now it's rotating. So if I Let's test this in the level. Do we have post process? We do. And processes materials. Here. This is only for testing. I'm not going to apply it here. So yeah, now we do have some effect, but that's too much. I don't need this like this. I just need this only when the transition happens, but that is also start from the center and expand. And then when this goes away, we will be in the match. Right. So how do we do that? Here, let's subtract this from 0.5. The reason is because 0.5 by 0.5 is the center of the screen. And if I preview this, this is how it looks. If I get the length of this, see, from the center we have black and to the edge we have white. Now, yeah, this is interesting because we can use this to drive the expansion from center to outward. So here, let's put a sine, not a sine node. Yeah, we can use a sine node for preview, but later on we might need a better way to have some transition. Yeah, let's set a sine node for now and connect to time. If I preview this, you see, this is what we have. Now, if I multiply this, because this is changing from -1 to +1, we don't really need that. We can add 1 to this and multiply by 0.5 so that this changes between 0 and 1. And if I subtract this from here, see, now we have white is starting from the center and expanding outwards. So if I maybe we need to clamp this between 0 and 1, and then if I multiply this with this and put it here, stop, see, now this is expanding from the center to outward and we get the effect that we need. Apply. Okay, maybe this is something we can use. Try a different noise. So not much of a difference though. Let's okay, right, now let me remove this from here and add this to this transition camera we created yesterday. Where do we do that? Post process. Oh yeah, this is the first time I'm trying post process effects with gameplay camera system. This is MPP session. Let's this is not used here. Let's see now. Okay, so it looks ridiculous, but we have the effect. Now what I want to do is, instead of this pulsing, we can directly use a timer starting from 0. But for that, we would need to know the starting time, because this time would continue to go up since the beginning of the game. So we need to know at what time we start the camera. We need to start this effect. So to do that, here, let's create a collection parameter. I'll call this MPC post process and add a scalar parameter. Let's call it transition start. Okay, now I'll use that collection parameter transition start time and subtract this. So let's connect it like this. Now see, it's already there, the effect is already there, but if I reset this to this result of this to start from 0, this should be expanded from center to outward. So to do that, here in the match, when we start the match, this is our start match node. I'll set scalar parameter value on the MPC post process session start time to current time, get time seconds. Right, compile. Now let's see. Hey, we got the nice effect, and now we are back in the level. So we need to adjust the timing because we see the UI while we are in the twirling effect. So maybe we should use this, maybe 1.5. Let's try. Okay, maybe we need to darken the screen closer to the end. So to do that, we might yeah, let's add a multiplier to this, and from this node I'll get a 1 minus, so this will go from white to black. See, yeah, okay, that's better. Let's go back to free roam and come back again. No, still too fast. Okay, yeah, I think this is better. Even though we see the UI elements in the black screen, maybe that's better. So what I did is this, increase this to 3. Yeah, I think this is good enough for now. Okay, let's switch to another character just for testing. still it works. Alright, so thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.